know, dahlias offer such brilliant value as garden plants. They start flowering in July and they carry on right until, well, November in some years, until the first frosts come and blacken the foliage. And that's the point at which you have to decide what to do with them, just beginning to go over the hill. Now, in the southern parts of the country, you can risk leaving the tuberous roots in the ground, because if you mulch them with a thick layer of organic matter, you know, garden compost or manure, it'll act like an insulating blanket, and in many years you'll get away with them staying there through the winter and springing up again come the spring. But in the northern part of the country and in colder areas, it's worth digging the plants up to make sure that you can overwinter the tuberous roots and replant them again next year. You will be astonished at how much root and tuber a single plant that you put in can produce. Just look at this. What we have to do now is the clean-up job, to get off as much of this earth as we possibly can to reveal the tuber underneath. Bits will fall off. It's going to happen. Don't worry too much about it, but you will be astonished as to how much tuber there is under here, and by picking it off with a fork you can make sure that you conserve the greater part of it. A brush is quite handy too for working your way all the way through it. Get out as much soil as you can. I'm not being ridiculous and saying you must get every single scrap out. No, you're trying to get air around those tubers so that when they've been cleaned up, and some of them will be much smaller like this, you can make sure that when you store them for the winter they're much less likely to rot. The thing to do is to take off the top growth. Leave yourself about 4 to 6 inches of stalk, cut those off completely like that, and when you end up with as much hefty tuber as you can now store them. They want to go in a dry shed or a garage which is frost free. If frost gets into a shed or garage, these tubers will just go to mush and you'll lose them. Now, some gardeners say you should first of all put them upside down to let the sap drain out of the stalk there. To be absolutely honest, it doesn't really matter. Just make sure they're all in there, stacked together with air in between, and then you can carry these off, store them in your shed or garage, and come next March, check through them. In fact, it's a good idea during the winter just see that any haven't rotted, any that have, get rid of. Next March you can pot them up into large pots and start them off fairly early in the greenhouse if you want, before planting them out again in May when danger of frost is past. And that way, not only have you had a stonking great show this year, you can make sure that you get it in years to come as well. And when you've got clumps as big as this, you can divide them up and make several. Dahlias, brilliant value for money.